This video is made by a Nintendo fanboy. You should not take this or any of Storm's adventures as a recommendation. It is all merely just someone's opinion.
Oh yeah!
See what I mean?
Adventure with the console. Never really done this before. On live micro console. The Dreamcast. Okay, never mind on that. But oh my god! A new Nintendo console! These are exciting times. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll compare the Wii U to its predecessor.
Well, in physical comparison, it is roughly the same width. It may be little in the middle, but it's got a lot of back. The power brick is friggin' huge, and I see no problem with that. While it's fun to bitch about these things if you're predisposed to hating the console's company, you don't want voltage conversion to happen at the outlet because it can block others, and you don't want it to happen inside the console because that can lead to overheating. So be thankful we have power bricks. To connect the Wii U to a television, you can use the HDMI out port or the AV multi-out port. What the heck is AV multi-out, you say? You know the connectors you have for the Wii? They'll work here too. And that's good news for me because I can put off replacing my Hot Pockets component capture device. The sensor bar connects the sensor bar, and that's for Wii Remote backward compatibility. Yeah, that's a segue into this loud, angry paragraph. I still get the question, is it backwards compatible with Wii games? Dude, that question was answered years ago. Yes, it's backwards compatible, you dork! It's a little bit different from what you may expect, though. When you put in a Wii disc, you use a synced Wii remote that directs you to the Wii channel. So instead of emulating Wii disc gameplay, the Wii U just full-on emulates a Wii. It's a little click-heavy, but it works, I suppose. The real problem is, to the best of my knowledge, when you move over Virtual Console and WiiWare, this is the only place it can be accessed. Yeah, I'll just keep it on my original Wii. I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. With disc compatibility comes the question of controller compatibility. Nintendo says all Wii accessories will work on the Wii U. Let's call their bluff. I got a bucket of Wii controllers, I want to test them all. Wii Remote and Nunchuck. It works. Wii Motion Plus. It works. Wii Classic Controller. It works. Wii Classic Controller Pro. It works. Wii Balance Board. Just as embarrassing, and it works. Guitar Hero peripherals. They work. Rock Band peripherals. The drums work, but I lost the guitar connection dongle, so it doesn't work. Wii Speak. I don't care if it works. Wii Zapper. It's plastic. Okay, everyone gets the point. Nintendo states that GameCube games will not work on the console, and that makes sense as there are no connections for the controllers or memory cards. However, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm playing one right now. Ha! Psych! You can metaphorically play GameCube titles since some of them were released on the Wii to make a quick non-holiday cash-in. Other than that, we'll just have to wait for digital distribution. The Wii U discs are sort of Blu-ray and sort of proprietary and definitely of 25 gigabytes. Layman terms, don't worry, that should be enough for this generation, and I'll soon be eating my words. Speaking in the tangible world, they have rounded off edges which feels really nice and inviting. What's the actual relevance of this? I don't know, let's see how they cut tomatoes.
How am I doing with this whole system overview thing? Hopefully not too boring.
My deluxe Wii U console has 32 gigabytes of internal storage. That'll fill up real fast if using the eShop to download games. A service that Nintendo is proud of, but we're all pretty familiar with the concept and nonchalant to the thought. If you've already bought 2 high-profile games, it can become a juggling act. Oh, whatever, just use an external hard drive, it's not that big of a deal. 2 pages scripted, and I have yet to talk about the real headliner, the Wii U gamepad. Nintendo has returned to regular gaming controls, with everything you would expect on a competitor's scheme, including clickable sticks. However, the triggers are not analog. That creates an issue. When Nintendo forces me into buying Super Mario Sunshine again, I won't be able to gauge the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing device. I suppose there's always the classic controller, which would have been real convenient last generation. Also, there's a front-facing camera, a microphone, stereo speakers. Oh yeah, there's a 6-inch touchscreen in the middle of it. This isn't as revolutionary as that motion control stick thingy, and that's fine. I'm good with a second screen. What the screen is used for is really up to the developers, but the most touted use is the ability to play a game completely local to the gamepad. The first time I held the Wii U's gamepad, I was like, Ew, clunky! 5 minutes later, I wanted to play every game ever made with this controller. But having a tablet as your input device quickly brings up the issue of battery life. Don't quote me here, though I've seen it last about 5 or 6 hours. And that's where playing near an outlet is useful. Also, being an engineer, I have to test the range on this.
Oh! Looks like I can only go about 30 feet. But it reaches my bathroom, and engineer or not, as a man, that's all I needed to know.
My best use for the gamepad screen is a little unorthodox. Every now and then I hear,
Storm, you're getting fat. You need to get on the Strider.
with the gamepad, I can play a full console game without having to fight over a television. I've done this sort of thing in the past, with limited success. It's extremely difficult to hold your Skyward Sword steady while working out.
You think I'm joking.
I suspect most of us use the gamepad screen just because it's there. And when you do that, you tend to forget that you could be witnessing a high-definition experience on a much better screen, known as your TV. I don't want to end up predicting something wrong, but I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we're too far off from playing DS games on our television. I mean, we finally have all the parts. Button layout, a control stick, a stylus, 2 screens, 3D. You know what, skip the 3D. When you think about it, we're just about due for another handheld to console adapter. Wait a second.
Patent pending! Patent pending!
The Wii U's operating system doesn't shock or amaze. There are blocks for the disk drive, the Wii U emulation extravaganza, and for downloadable applications. Nintendo TV doesn't work yet. YouTube was recently updated. On the other screen is the Miiverse front end. It can be viewed on either screen, but I'm gonna film it off of my TV because Hot Pockets is getting blue out from all this white. Miiverse is sort of a social network for Nintendo users where gamers can comment on games, make monochrome art with the touchscreen, and interact with and befriend other gamers. And that's why I'm gonna spend the scientifically measurable least amount of time in the Miiverse.
And now the pesky subject of Wii U graphical superiority. Go ahead and run the specs. Yes, Nintendo finally has HD resolution, but I'm not even celebrating that. Being about 7 years late to the party, I expect it. However, saying that the Wii U runs at or below PS3 or 360 graphical output? What? Doesn't anybody remember these tech demos? I understand these are just in-game cutscenes, so there's no real-time physics or dynamic character animation to interfere. And I understand we just have to take their word for it. But Ultra's developer is a little more than a dude on a forum that claims that his uncle works at Microsoft. You know, I actually have a cousin who works at Intel. The real problem is, there's no exclusive games on the Wii U that show off its graphical potential. Okay, there is one.
As for clarification, I'm not a Nintendo Land hater. All I was saying was, alright Nintendo, we get it. Shut up. Could you please move on to telling us about Super Mario Galaxy 3? From the E3 previews, it was easy to see that Nintendo Land is to the Wii U as Wii Sports was to the Wii. There's no chance I would buy something like this standalone, so it's a good thing it came packaged with the Deluxe. Nintendo Land kind of operates like a minigame game, but I wouldn't be so quick to classify these 12 attractions as mini-games. They're quite a bit longer and certainly more challenging. It's hard for me to judge the gameplay because some of the attractions require or are enhanced by 2 or more players, and warm bodies to game with me is a resource I'm not the least bit reluctant to seek out. One player, I like Zelda's Battle Quest for the combat aspect, and Donkey Kong Crash Course is giving me an ulcer. The point of Nintendo Land is to play the attractions, to get coins, to buy stuff, to decorate the park hub. Actually, the point of Nintendo Land is to showcase what the gamepad can add, like asymmetric multiplayer, use of a large touchscreen, and the motion controls are still built in. Back to the previous line of thought. I know it's difficult for everyone to comprehend because there's no guns, no zombies, and no perceivable acts of realistic violence. But Nintendo Land actually looks really good. High quality textures, more refined shadows, bloom lighting, normal mapping, shaders. Nintendo may not have intended Nintendo Land to be the powerhouse of the console, but that's basically all we have right now. And it's addictive!
As you can probably tell, I'm really feeling the Wii U. And being the lame-ass biased gamer that I am, I keep on reminding myself, the franchises are coming. Oh, Zelda in HD. My eyeballs are not ready for this. So welcome to the next era of Nintendo.
Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.